So, let me tell you a little bit about this new world. You gotta have a sense of humor. Excuse me, most people who make it here have a sense of humor. Is that what I thought you would need? Somewhere inside I did. Here in the hospital, as I'm getting my support for upgrading to new DNA, I get my hiccups back, as you noticed. And if your guts are all messed up and ulcered and pain, hiccups is not a fine thing. But I finally got relief from that, so hiccups are not. Yeah. They told me that medication that I'd be getting called something like Pentonix would suppress hiccuping and burping. Because I told her that hiccuping was causing this pain, so I asked for pain medication. I didn't really have pain, but I got the story. And I did get a very interesting sensation when they put morphine in the test tube into the into this. It's like it changes your head, it puts you in a different place, different state. I'm going to remind you, is a different world, actual different world. And these kinds are temporary until you can figure out all the vibrations of its beingness. But more into this sense of humor thing before she comes back with my chicken broth. Chicken broth. Remember chicken noodle soup? Cure you of your cold. Chicken broth is my savior in this one. Savior brought me back to life. Remember that. It'll be in the notes. I wake up with a cold fan blowing in my face. And I'm thinking, I gotta go take a shit. Secret of shit. Shh. It's the big secret. That's why they say, shh. It's it. You're about to have it. Which is the process of a massive letting go. So when you take a shit, you're letting go. In that delivery system, you get to let go of whatever you're ready to let go of in life and move on. Kind of like going to sleep and waking up recovered. But it's like the postman. It happens in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night, it happens whenever. For some people, they've managed to get that down to a schedule. Fantastic for them. For me, it used to be shortly after eating. Now, when you're in a place where you're making a lot of exit deliveries, it's pretty often. So often, in fact, the delivery system accelerates the pace at which you need to get to the delivery receptacle, we'll say. There's more of that sense of humor. So, with enough time to just unplug this from my IV setup and make it there, whipping down my underwear, barely in time to sit down, drop the wet bomb, water balloon, whatever you want to call it, inverted volcano. It all comes screamingly clear. That in this new world, we all got figured out. I got figured out, excuse me. I'm assuming everyone's here with me already. Shit hits the fan fast. Really does. And if that's too metaphorical, it means people are eliminating sometimes so fast. You gotta have some moves. And if you don't have moves, well then you need to be pristine about yourself, because you know what, that other people's shit is going to stick to you if you're not pristine enough to handle shit coming at you at 60 miles an hour and hitting a cold blowing fan. Yeah. So I got the chicken noodle soup, and it's scalding hot because in part of this future, scalding hot is the new way that the average coffee maker water comes out. Like, yeah. So I got the soup, and of course it's scalding hot, so I ask for ice. Don't normally eat ice because why? Decided it was not good for my stomach. Now there's connection there, of course. Slows down your digestion. Don't drink cold liquids when you're having food. But, you know, they give you ice because it's nice and refreshing. Of course, that's what ice is for. It's nice and refreshing. Me? Just to cool down scalding water. I mean, I knew this. I'd make ramen. Too impatient after microwaving the water or cooking the water for cooking the noodles for 3 minutes and boiling water because you want to eat it right away, and I put 2 ice cubes in there. If I didn't, and I'd stirred it till it cooled down, a lot of the liquid would come out. It would evaporate, and it was about 2 ice cubes worth. So it turns out, melt in 2 ice cubes, you got your food faster. That was a baby ascension of sorts for me to get somewhere with that. Still scalding. A couple more ice cubes. So, and here, you're going to soil your pants. And that's, you know, something that I gotta learn. Well, excuse me, I did learn, because you know what? I got my hiccups back. I haven't had hiccups for 10 years. They reminded me earlier, like, how long have you had all sort of colitis, whatever? When did it start? About 10 years ago. So whenever ulcerative colitis started, it seems I lost my regularity for getting hiccups. And it's not that I lost hiccups. I hiccup once, and I draw in this air, and then I'd burp it. I'd have like a burp, and I wouldn't have a whole lot of hiccups anymore. So when they brought over this concept of pentatonic or perftonic or something, it's like, what, some sort of special tonic. So one of my new medications that I get, and apparently it lasted till about 11 last night when I had my first hiccups. That were surprising to me that it wouldn't go away. Like, wait a second, they're not going away. Isn't it funny? You grow up wondering how to get them to go away. Well, if you burp after hiccuping, or accidental hiccup, you're not going to have them. So that's something different in this world. And so here I am, a specific configuration of ways that I don't burp when I hiccup now. And I know that has something to do with the mucus in my throat. If I'm just counting relative experiences of physicality that go together, it's not like I had a lot of mucus in my life, but I definitely had mucus because I had a different collection of toxicity in my body, and it wasn't the chemical kind. It's funny. A lot of people have the chemical kind of toxicity, and they say toxicity prevents your brain and stuff, but I have a really good metabolism that takes care of toxicity in a big way. My kind of toxicity was the kind of toxicity you get in your bowels from like sugar. Now, gluten itself is not super bad, but gluten supported the sugar bacteria. It's like they grow on glue or something. It's not a big deal. If I got good fiber, gluten's not a big deal for me. Sense of humor. You just make some sort of comedy skit out of it. That's what one of my new guides said. Yeah, I got a new guide. Asked her, "What's your name?" It's like, I don't care what I'm called. So, came to mind was Sassy McBassy. She reminded me of a sassy black woman, but not really. It was just the sensation of it. Because she's kind of got this comedic talking back to you, like, come on, don't you get it? Duh. Get on the wavelength. You can handle it. Because I'm dishing it out. It's how much ice you put in. Whatever they give you that fits. I've always done it that way. Fill it with ice. Or if you've got ice in it, you fill it with liquid until you get that. I was not an advocate of ice when it was served to me in fast food joints or anywhere they had the soda machines, because you got less soda whenever you got ice. You go to a movie theater, you're paying $8.75 for whatever size soda. That could be a small. Like, unless this is a refill and I'm planning on missing some of the movie to refill this, you know, or I've got one of my kids, thankfully, now to do it for me in the middle of the movie. Sorry, Winter. That's a little inside joke. A little inside truth I needed. Yeah. Ice out. Which you need to declare, because it goes in by default all the time. It sometimes even goes in when you tell them not to do it. They got better. Maybe I got more serious. In soup, it's not the same rule. It's just whatever doesn't burn you. Funny, I should be doing that with coffee, but you could ask for what temperature you want your coffee now. I haven't had enough. Figure out. Just what temperature I like. But you know that whole coffee can give you diarrhea, and so can orange juice. Fast lane, man. You're ready to hit the depository. Drop some degrees of transformation, and good for you, man. Drink that orange juice. Yeah, drink that coffee. It gives you diarrhea. Because, you know, you're ready for whatever that screams at you. Whatever comes screaming into your life because of it. Good on you. That's my joke to you. I'm sure I'm going to have plenty more to tell.